trying to do to see if it's in the computer room. Alright, everyone. Knowledge Allah, Solimar, Magnetic Sun Ra, Mia, Shakanulu, Free to Be Me, John Kulisek, JF, CERN Love.
In that corner, the other corner is in the computer room? I don't know. You might have took it with him. I mean, just look. You know what I'm saying? Just look. What you trying to get me?
Luke Cage.
Yeah, I tried. Be right here. I got a projector. I want to see if I'm, person see you show how it works in here, and then take it outside.
Science. The world is going a little bit crazy since the last time we was on. I don't know if we get into some of that a little bit later. I know y'all ain't tuned in for this. This is a little bit off topic, but I've been noticing one of the strangest places that I've been noticing inflation is with homeless people. Like I don't know exactly how they calculate it, but I think it's like 1,000% inflation or something. Because homeless people just ask you for $1 now. Like they don't ask for change. Plug it right there, man. Yeah, they don't ask for change. They ask for a straight $1. When I first started seeing homeless people, they used to say, look, even if it's a penny. Even if it's a penny, every little bit counts. Now they just straight up ask for $1. See, when they ask for $1, now I gotta check their tone. I gotta check their tone now. When you ask for a straight up $1, now I gotta see is this a request? Or is this a demand? Joseph Wise you. Alright. That's just the what's the name thing? So plug your phone in.
Nah, I told you it shouldn't. My phone shouldn't be tripping with me. This particular phone, the other phone that I had that was playing shit.
Yeah. We're testing out right now the projector to see if we can show some movies. That's pretty good even in the light right there. But it's close though right there. See if we show some movies outside. You got this blue thing all over me. It's looking. I already got people already calling me Diablo. Let's see how to show something.
Yeah, this shit on this phone. Tripping that shit.
What's supposed to show that was on the screen?
It's supposed to show.
You gotta press something over there, right?
Nah.
Says no. Shaquem. Yeah, we're testing out this projector right now. To get this working, then we're gonna project the movies onto to the side of the school from the yard, and then the young can come and watch movies. Yes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I hooked that up. HDMI. Nah, I think you gotta do HDMI. Alright. Divine truth.
So,
Put something on your screen.
I was doing this shit before on our phone at work, but yeah, see, might have to get something for your phone or some other
It's gotta be something. Plug in. You gotta plug in something that could work. You said the homeless have a union. How does the homeless union work? How does the homeless union work? It's gotta be the first time I heard that one. I got it. Hold on, let me see. 1 second, Chuck.
You seen some more Gatorade in there, Darkim? Man, I got 3 of these yesterday. Oh, yes, I did, see? Oh, you must not have been in the fridge. Yeah, because I had bought 3 of these yesterday. There was supposed to be one more.
That's your charger. Charge got it.
you got a charger?
Yeah, I got my charger on.
Charger. Hey, you put the charger.
You got your charger? Man.
Shit, man.
Joseph said that the homeless union runs the real homeless off. Wow, that's crazy. But, getting to the title while we're working on this right here, this projector to see what's going on. Watching tennis. Fly on the wall. Fly on the wall is the terminology that you hear most of the time, referencing what I'm talking about right now. But I used to refer to it as watching tennis because, I used to be in a position when, that's how it would look. You know what I'm saying? That's how it felt to me. But, this is about, a little bit simpler, but just an example of an aspect, right, of, being a part of this, right, that don't travel, right? It was impossible for that to travel, with the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabet in the lessons. You know what I'm saying? And that was to just be there, right, when certain people was building with each other. Like, it's one thing when you ask somebody a question, right, and they, answer your specific question. That's definitely, an element that you get, when you get to ask people that was actually there. You know what I'm saying? Like you might hear a story, oh, Allah said this, Allah said that. You know, to actually have a conversation with one of the people that he was saying that to. You know what I'm saying? You know, you hear the tape of Allah speaking, you know, in Otisville, you know, but to have a conversation with somebody who was in Otisville at that time, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, what that was about, what they got from it, you know, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? But, you know, to just be there, you know, let's say you it's a conversation, you know, Dumont and Firstborn Prince's building, you know what I mean, or El Nahim and Ahmed's building, you know, and you know whenever something like this would happen, I would always get, you know, right there in the middle with them, you know, and I just, you know, if this person dropped their jewel, this person dropped their jewel, you know, you know, you gotta stand on your tippy toes to see what they saying. They shorter than you, but you gotta stand on your tippy toes to see what they saying. You know, that's an experience right there where, you know, you could just get your bucket out and just collect jewels as they drop. You know what I'm saying? That's like you know, it's one of the things that I don't know if people understand, right? What we mean when we say that, you know, look, you know, you need to come in tune with the gods. You know, even if it's where you at. You know, not necessarily, you know, in New York, but you gotta come in tune with it. You know, that's a certain thing. You know, even, you know, look, you know, you got family every day, right? But when you go to a family reunion, that's a certain, you know, there's a certain something in that atmosphere, right? It's vibrating at a certain level. You know, when everybody's, you know, in one point in space and one point in time, right? And of one mind. But those were some of my greatest growing experiences. You know, just you know, being here. You know, I'm talking about Cyphers where you fucking on my camera.
My bad. Yeah, I got it. Wow.
You know, I'm talking about Cyphers, like I said, where, you know, I'm not even speaking. You know what I'm saying? You know, just to be there to observe the masters do it. You know, that's a part of, you know, the culture. You know, where, you know, you could write the culture down on paper, right? But like I said, you know, there's languages that people got all the alphabet, right? They've deciphered the alphabet to varying degrees, but they don't know what the language sounds like when somebody speaks it. Like there's actually people that do that, you know. Hey, don't fuck with my shit. Nah, I need this here. What you doing? You know, there's actually people that do that right now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we trying to get, you got your phone on you? See, but you got iPhone on. Yeah, Android. See if it works with and we're trying to make it do the wishing. But yeah, it shows, so it should show on the wall outside.
What's that? Projector, right?
Yeah. You know, but you know, that's the science of, you know, you can, you know, you can read all of the stories, you know, you can know all of the stories, but, you know, actually, that right there is, I would say that's almost like a hidden, that's like a hidden jewel right there. You know that, you know, not to say it's hidden like people not letting you know that that's you know, a valuable experience to have, right? The science with the title, you know, watching tennis fly on the wall is you know, pretty much what I'm talking about right now. That, you know, one of my greatest growing experiences that I had was you know, just being present when you know, certain ciphers was going on. You know, different people, you know, like you see a lot real on a on a video, you know what I mean, or you might meet him at a rally, or you might just, you know, have the experience of knowing a lot of people from his tree or something. You know, but to actually see them live in the flesh building in a cipher. See, because even with that, I'm gonna tell you another thing. You know, you got a lot of people now that they do that, right? They somewhere off in the corner and they come on the internet or whatever. They call people on the phone and, you know, they tell, you know, all variant stories, all variant principles, whatever they want to deal with, right? But have you ever seen them say that with their peers present? See, a lot of people do that. So you gotta remember, you know, if you know you somewhere outside of New York, right? See, everybody that leaves New York, when we get someplace where nobody has the knowledge, we in love. But when you see them people actually building amongst their peers, then sometimes you see, all right, yeah, this is, you know, some of this stuff that you was teaching is a little shaky. But when you get a chance to actually watch the masters do it, you know, it's you know, first of all, you know, that's the part of growth and development in anything. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, it could be like, say like with sports, right? You know, once upon a time, there was only Deion Sanders, right? But now, if you don't have those types of skills as a cornerback, you're probably not gonna make it to the NFL. Not saying you're gonna be as good as it at it as Deion. But that's how you gotta play now. You know what I'm saying? Or the same thing with boxing. You know, you got certain people that when they came in, they introduced something into boxing, you know, and now that's, you know, boxing 101. So, you know, just in order to deal with growth and development, you know, and not competition. See, a lot of times. Sure, it's not the wire.
He's searching. I don't know why, you know.
You got your laptop.
I got my laptop with me. I don't have an HDMI on there, does it? No.
Yeah, you're gonna go SCSI to USB. Right? Did you see the SCSI cable?
This is HDMI to USB.
HDMI to USB, but you got a small USB, maybe the bigger USB. That you gonna have to probably go to a computer before a phone.
Yeah, I mean, nah, I
Maybe
mean,
my software is old. It's an old phone.
it could be HDMI search. See, it still says searching.
Here, so I generally know.
Source still
You
searching.
gotta try a different source.
Uh, Usually it would be. I mean that probably would be the best bet, like from a phone. I did it when I was in Medina. I remember on the phone. You know what I'm saying, but my the phone that I have now, that was.
It was an iPhone, another phone. And
You see, it's probably
It's probably something small.
try to take it in the computer room and see if it works with the computers.
Yeah, but I don't have,
The connection, right? 'Cause you
Yeah, they got wires in it. They got HDMI wires in it. Alright, Mecca divine wisdom.
maybe, yeah, fucking, what's it called,
to a hardcore computer.
District 120.
what's it called,
Understanding true
yeah,
self.
you guys put it outside.
I got sincere.
Put it on the wall.
793rd SW Kasim Shabazz.
That ain't, if we hook up to any of those computers, they ain't gonna do nothing, man.
What?
We need, cause we wanna put it outside, we wanna.
Yes, now I'm just saying to see if the what's the name works, if the input.
Input. Well, I'm saying it does, it's what it's saying, it's still searching, it just continues to search on its phone. So, hold on, let me call.
Alright, go ahead and call now. So, yeah, for the new people that came in, we was just, right now we got this projector. We're trying to get it to work so that we can project movies onto the side wall in the school over here, so the kids can come over there. They could play. You could hook it up to a PlayStation 2 once we get it, but we gotta see what the issue is right now. But in the meantime, the new people that just came in, you know, the title, Watching Tennis Fly on the Wall, was just about, you know, my experience of just being around certain brothers and just being able to observe them in a cipher. You know, being able to observe them building in real time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of times when we deal with, you know, some of our older brothers and sisters, it's just kind of them, you know, talking to us, you know, filling us in on history, you know, different things that they, you know, accumulated through research and experience, you know. But when you actually get a chance to see them in a cipher, you know, where, you know, they actually take it back to day one of them having the knowledge, you know, that's actually a part of the experience. You know what I mean? That, you know, you would be watching brothers day in their 30s or 40s, right? And they having a cipher, but you can actually observe them going back, you know, it's like they 16, 17, 18 all over again, you know, and, you know, they build it in the ciphers on the corner. You know, just to have those kinds of experiences, that's something that, you know, we get the paper, right? The Supreme Mathematics, the Supreme Alphabet, we get the 120, you know, you might watch these videos, but like I said, all of this is 2 dimensions. You know, the screen right here, this is 2 dimensions. You know, when you get the lessons and all of that, that's 2 dimensions. You know, but in real life, we exist in 3 dimensions. You understand what I'm saying? You know, things have depth. You know, right now, you know, we measuring, you know, you can measure the length and the width right here. You know, but you know, those is the actual things when people say, you know, you got to come to New York, or, you know, you got to come amongst the guys in whatever cipher that you in. You know, that's a part of it. You know, it's like the difference between, you know, let's say you got a family member, right? Which we all do. You got a family member, you know how it's somebody in your family, right? That they like a real popular person with everybody in the family. Like everybody in the family knows this person, right? And they always talking about this person and telling all these good stories, but you never got a chance to meet them. You know what I'm saying? So you just, you know them from the stories. You know, it's not the same. You didn't get a chance to actually walk and talk with them. You know, and you know, maybe I haven't done a good job in communicating, right? That, you know, it's those aspects of things that's important. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily for you to come out here just to see if people know that you know 120. Because anybody can learn. It's children that can quote 120. I was a child that could quote 120. But when you deal with the actual experience of being a 5%, that's the part that you can't get off the paper. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people, you know, some people that might be from outside of the city that, you know, they came down here, maybe they came to the show and prove or whatever, and, you know, they might could add on with you as well about, you know, how that experience is just to be there and just observe it. You know, observe the masters at work. And then be able to just, you know, you could just to be able to draw that up now, you know, you've heard all the aspects. In the 5% way. See, like people say we debate, right? We don't debate. You know, debate, that's Sanetta, that's debate. See, one of the reasons why you get all that debate over there is because they ain't got the same knowledge and wisdom. If you ain't got the same knowledge and wisdom, how y'all gonna come to an understanding? Like if you talking about elephants, and I'm talking about macaroni and cheese, right? How we gonna, you know, the only understanding we're gonna come to is that, oh, all right, we're not talking about the same thing. Let's end this conversation and start a new conversation. But those is, you know, the actual, you know, how you exist in the world. You know, that's another aspect of the culture that, you know, when you're not around the gods and the earths, right? You're not immersed in the culture. There's a difference, right? And you know, every blue moon, maybe you come in tune with somebody. But then, in order for you to just exist in the world, right? You got to start blending in with the Romans. You got to start blending in with the Irish. You got to start blending in with the Italians, the Japanese, all these different people, right? Because that's how you got to exist in the world. You still got to deal with food, clothing, and shelter. is it that actually, when you say, okay, your culture is actually a thing, right? So in the course of an average day, right? What is it that you do different than a good Christian? Like a good Christian, you know, when they go out there in, you know, in New York, there's trained preachers. There's preachers. There's people that just get on the subway and just start preaching. Right? They doing their duty. When you ask them, they teach it. You know, just being a kind person, a good person. See, a lot of times, that's why you trying to teach people and they not absorbing it because they can't see no difference. Except that, you know, you appear to have all of these rules that take what they probably consider the fun out of life. But they don't see no difference in terms of the way you move, right? And they don't see no difference in terms of the outcomes that you achieve. You know what I'm saying? They don't see no difference in the way that you go about things. See, the people, I limit them with that. Because they could get 10%. They could get 10% with that. You see, when the people detect, right, that you know, you go about things differently, the 85% are coming around you. When they looking for solutions, because they know you're dealing with supreme mathematics. See, they get to the 10% level, right? Because I actually dealt with, you know, it's not labor, it's a labor of love. You know, it's not like the colored man going through labor. But I'm the one that did the work. I'm the one that stayed home and studied the lessons. I'm the one that went to the Cyphers, you know, when everybody else was playing. So now that I went through all of that, now you want to just tap into my understanding for the solutions for all your problems. No, that's not how this works. See, you got to accumulate your own wisdom to save your life with. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm busy saving my life, right? And the people around me. So now, what if your life get on the line, right? And my wisdom is in use. Then you just gonna be fucked up. But that's pretty much, you know, that was just, you know, just some examples of coaching that I was thinking about over the last couple of days. But we got any questions out there? We can move on to this guy, man, was we can move on to perhaps some current events. I'm just barely in the loop, but I've heard. Yep. Woo. Leave it up to divine truth to get things heated up quickly. Question in reference to the new gun laws. Should we come up with some slang? I don't know, can we say that without getting canceled? All right, now, the question is, how do I see the decision that's been made now? I only know about the decision in reference to New York, meaning that I heard they said that, you know, the state can't, you know, I guess, you know, make any laws that, you know, bar people from being able to acquire, you know, protection, I guess. If we want to, let's just call it that before we get canceled over here. Well, first of all, let me say just in the greater kind of view of it, right? Welcome to Trump world. You know, like I don't know how often it happens, right? But you kind of have these shifts in the Supreme Court where you know, just incidences of time, right? You get a lot of people on the Supreme Court that pass away, right, around the same time. And whoever's the president at that time, right, because they get to appoint so many of them, right, they leave, it's a mark that they leave on society, right, because of, especially in recent times, how much of society is kind of formed by these court decisions. You know what I'm saying? So you got people like FDR, you know, just by virtue of the fact he did 3 presidential terms. You know, so over that time, he got to appoint a lot of Supreme Court justices, right? And, you know, even in reference to black people in America, a lot of those was the justices that ended up overturning, you know, those are the ones that made the decisions of, you know, about civil rights. You know, Board of Education, you know, Brown versus Board of Education, etc., etc. So I think in the greater, you know, when I look back at the big view, right? Trump won. You know, he lost that election. you know, but in terms of, you know, the way the society appears to be forming right now, right? You know, based on at least upon these first decisions that's being made right now, it appears that he's going to have a tremendous impact on the reality here in America. You know, in terms of the you know, specifically, you know, what might have been, you know, what might have prompted some of this is it's kind of getting to be every man for himself. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're getting to the point where these, you know, these urban, you know, these urban police departments, you know, that I'm accustomed to, right? You know, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 police, right? Even with that many, you know, it's coming to the point where they can't protect the people. It's starting to be every man for themselves out there. So, you know, like JF said right here, to disenfranchise many of us, or they have disenfranchised many of us with the guns decades ago. You know, with this decision, you know, they already know that this is going to bypass the people that they don't want to have. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but for the people that they know that, you know, right now things is a little too crazy. You know, it's like in the West, the reason why, you know, the laws is the way it is because, you know, you got one sheriff, you know, for 100 square miles, or, you know, whatever so people on their own. So I think that's, you know, kind of the message right there that, you know, in this time when they feel under attack, you know, from many different quarters, you know, including, you know, the government right now. You know, they're making sure everybody's ready. At least who they want to be ready, because, you know, we know it's still gonna be hoops that you gotta jump through. Like JF said, you know, and some of these hoops is gonna be set up so that you said people that should be fighting to get their rights back. I mean, it's definitely a thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, but, you know, at this moment right now, you know, I would say just in terms of individual, right? You know, we not there yet, you know, in terms of as a group. You know what I mean? You know, we want to become an armed group. You know, that defeats our purpose a little bit, because remember, you know, we are, you know, our objective is to teach babies. You know, and self-defense, I mean, yeah, we got boxing class. That's, you know, one of my things. But, you know, just in terms of kind of making that the way that you solve your problems, we're not there. See, like, you know, because even on a group level, right, when you look at, you know, America as a nation, you know, when, you know, that's the way that you choose to solve your problems. Now, I'm not saying that's what you was advocating. I'm just saying that, just adding on, you know, that's, you know, like I was saying earlier, in terms of, you know, just a element of culture, right? You know, that's just something that I grew up with. That, you know, once, as soon as that topic comes up, the brakes get put on that, you know, look, Allah didn't teach us that. See, because that's a science, right? First of all, you know what I mean, just to say what I say about it, you know what I mean, and not refer back to that. You know, just dealing with the science of the art of war. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't want to escalate a situation, right, when you haven't already won through preparation. You know, I'm not exactly sure what chapter it is or how they worded it. But by the time you do battle, you're supposed to already won. See, like, even in court, you know, when a lawyer don't ask a question that they don't already know the answer to. Like a divine wisdom said, know yourself first, then know your enemies. Thank you for that right there, you know. Wording how they put it in there. But you gotta be prepared. America spent 3 years preparing for D-Day. So luckily, PA is an open carry state, but I have a license to carry my weapon. You see, one thing I noticed is that is there, what is the phenomenon with that? I've been noticing that a lot of women, you know, they kind of dirty Harriets out there. Like I noticed, and not for nothing, that particular phrase, I noticed gets thrown around. By a lot of women. That they live in an open carry state. I don't know if women understand that that's a veiled threat. That's from the way I've seen them using it. They don't understand that. Yo, that's how we play. I understand. Seven Power said it's funny because I was reading about Hannibal today. Yeah, I paid a lot of attention to that. You know, because I paid attention to it because I was always intrigued by that. You know what I'm saying? Even before coming into the knowledge, but just, just in terms of nation building, nation history, whether it's the Roman Empire or, organization, whatever it might be, just, how they put that together. Whether they was positive or negative, right? There's elements that's in there of them being successful, right? That you could take that best part and leave the rest alone. You see what I'm saying? See the way everything was focused on the island of Patmos, right? The way everybody was on the same page. Those is elements of why he was successful. You know what I'm saying? His own actions. Those is elements of why Musa had a hard time. So based on that, like I said, whether it's peace. Whether it's the Nazis, the Russians, whoever, I've always paid attention to, how people put their civilizations together. And, a lot of times the great people in those civilizations is the warriors. You know what I'm saying? So, J.F. said, every battle is won before it is ever fought. Yeah. That's already in there. It's just divine truth. The idea of playing with two pieces of steel, knowing the potential that it will bring about chaos and destruction when it go bad. Yeah. See, that's another thing too. That you got to deal with, the cost of victory, right? Especially in that particular way. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, like right now, if you want to take the devil off the planet, you could just drop a whole bunch of nuclear bombs. Problem is, then where you gonna live at? You see what I'm saying? The cost of that victory in that particular way, right, that's too devastating. See, the best way, you gotta teach them too. that's why we opt for that. Because like I said, we got young people around us. You can't, there's certain people that was already built like that from day one. But we got little kids coming here drawing pictures, playing in motherfucking coloring book. You can't send them off, send them out there with this type of mentality, knowing what would be the cost of that. Sometimes the cost got to be the cost. And then in those times, we got to keep in mind. But you see, a lot of times we don't. You know what I mean? Like when you look at the cost, individually, right? You have people that pay the ultimate price. Mecca Evans, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, a lot, he didn't pay necessarily the ultimate price, but, Marcus Garvey, high price. A lot of other people, high price that they paid so we could be here when the internet ran our mouth. you know, in those times, then it's like I said, you know, that sacrifice, right? The value of that sacrifice is only worth what we do with the opportunity what they sacrifice for. Right? Fred Hampton. You know, countless people. You know, I don't want to leave nobody out. Just run through a couple names. You see, if you teach, then you know everything work out. Everything work out for everybody. Ain't nobody got to die. Nobody got to go to jail. Seven Power said that's why we got to build hard. I'm talking about soapbox building. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I'm adding on with you, you know, but we do have to adjust that in this day and time. Only because this is not the same New York from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. See, like now, people got air conditioning in their house. Got the PlayStation and shit. Phone and shit. You understand what I'm saying? The people ain't outside like that. Like, yeah, that was a certain science, you know, but, you know, nobody came up and told me to teach on the corner. That's where people maintained in that area, in that era. That's where people was. You can pass the park now and it's empty. There might be a handful of kids out there. You know, it's I don't want to say it's rare, but it's uncommon to see people playing a full court now. It's only certain parks, you know, where you go and it's, you know, pretty much every day people out there running full. But you know, there'll be times when nobody's out there. That never used to happen. From like 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, course was packed. Next, if you get out there after about 4:30 and you're not nice, you might not play. So, in terms of what you're saying, being active, right, and going out there and dealing with the people and the masses and all that, yeah, that's got to be done. But you know, the soapbox, you know, in particular, you know, that's a physical, you know, you standing out there on the street corner. Yourself to the process of manufacturing double on the island of Patmos. I saw it lived out on Paris Island. It's a similar process used for the making of marine double door. Yeah, you know, and you know that's why they successful. That's an element of success. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, like I said again with the culture, with people like, yo, you know, you saying everybody gotta go to New York, you know, everybody gotta be a follower. Like, see, in the Marines, right, people that go according to what everybody else is doing, they don't call them followers. They call them survivors, people that made it back from that mission. See, you go out there trying to freestyle and do your own shit, you ain't making it. not about whatever different aspect of egos. You know what I'm saying? Once we get out here, trust gotta be trust. Seven Five said we gotta take it back to the roots. Yeah. You see, look. Y'all gotta take it back to the roots. I ain't never left the roots. You know what I'm saying? I'm like LL with this shit. I'm calling it a comeback. I've been here for years. Internet is the new soapbox. Yeah, to a certain degree. It is, but it's just lacking, that, it's lacking that third dimension. You know what I'm saying? It's lacking, the vibration that we communicating with through here, right, is an algorithm from Google. Google on YouTube, right? Yeah. See, that's an algorithm from YouTube and Google. That's how this is vibrating right here. Right? Now, what I'm saying is included in there, but this is still YouTube. So you can detect, some of the vibration, but it's not the same, at least as the image that it gives me when I hear soapbox. But just in terms of the streets, right, is kind of a form of mass communication. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop is I wouldn't really say it was a product of the streets, but the streets is where it was born at. You know what I mean? That's a part of it. So hip hop became the mass communication in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? We got to find out certain places that ain't know. You didn't know. Like for instance, I knew it was Crips, right? In the 80s, I heard of the Crips, right? But I didn't know it was East Side Crips and West Side Crips. I didn't know that, the 60s had Static with the 8 trays. I learned all that from hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shit I heard, I heard of the Vice Lords, Gangster Disciples, you know what I'm saying, all that, but I didn't know it was Black Disciples and Gangster Disciples. I learned all that from hip hop. You see what I'm saying? So in that sense, yeah, the internet came in on that point, but we're gonna have to take it to that level of vibration, right, where we synchronized. You see what I'm saying? Because enough people being synchronized that look like something. You see what I mean? Like in the 60s, right? It was enough people that was synchronized. Where it's like, alright, this is too much. We're gonna have to throw them a bone. You see what I'm saying? Or even, when the George Floyd thing happened. You see what I'm saying? That was too much people synchronized. I don't know if this internet, right? I don't know if that's within the capacity of the internet. You know what I'm saying? To really synchronize the people like that.
Too many signals.
Yeah, and just the fact that we communicating through this algorithm. You see what I mean? Where even look, certain things I can't even say, right? Or they'll cut me off. You see what I'm saying? We can't go to certain levels. See what I mean? It's not the same. True Self, shout out for that. What is this right here again?
Chat.
Yeah, in the chat.
Super chat.
Yeah, the super chat.
Yeah, so hip hop, the internet just has too many signals for it to synchronize the people, you're saying?
Well, once hip hop became corporate,
Right.
in the beginning, when the vibration is more pure, right? The only thing that's really in the middle is just, this format of music, right? So, like right now, I'm talking, pausing, whatever, but, for you to communicate an idea to me in rhythm and all of that, you understand what I'm saying? Rhythm and rhyme, but that's rhythm and rhyme is a form of communication. That's a part of the art. You understand what I mean? But that's the only thing is that, okay, you might have a message for me, right, in rhythm and rhyme, but I might don't like the rhythm and rhyme. You understand what I mean? Like, you might have a very good message, right, but it might be in death metal, rock and roll and shit, right? So now I can't, you see what I mean? That's not a barrier, even though you might have been saying something that if I really took the time to listen and pick through the part that I don't like, I'll be like, oh shit, yo, he dropped the sign stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
But that happens. That's happened.
yeah, it has. You know what I'm saying? There's artists, look, even in hip hop, right? There's different regional music that I don't really like that, right? And then I might have got a chance to hear one song, or maybe they featured with another artist or something, and then I heard it was like, oh shit, yo, now I know people be saying this motherfucker is dope and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not into their music, but I see what the person, I see what people is saying about the depth of their music or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but now that it's filtered through what they feel like is going to make the most money.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now that puts a filter, right now, it's certain shit that you can't say. Like, when's the last time you heard an artist diss his label on the record? You ever notice that? Like, back in the day, dudes used to diss the label right on the records. Diss the label. What the fuck is he talking to?
Now corporations they feed in that frequency of dissing the next neighborhood.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? So,
Not dissing them, the next neighborhood.
but yeah, at the end of the day, I guess this is kind of what
so
we're using for now.
Do you think that we could reclaim that art form or that level of communication?
You mean just like all things remaining how they is right now?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm asking that question because of course, some of those things that exist would have to change, so it couldn't remain the same. But, like, the art and level of communication, like, we do you think that we could reclaim that, like, get that?
I don't think it can happen in this atmosphere. You see what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying is that, not to get too far off topic, but See, people today know that they poor. You know, back in the days, you always hear people tell that story that, yo, we was poor, but we didn't know we was poor. You understand what I'm saying? See, you know, that's another thing about the internet now, is that, yeah. Like back in the days, everybody around the block was doing the same shit, so, you know, like, yeah, you knew when you went downtown and shit, but that was mostly white people. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a separation in your mind, you know what I mean? You wasn't really thinking like that. But now that, you know, people styling on each other, you know, I seen a girl, right? It was her high school graduation picture, right? And she had a goat in the picture.
She had a goat in the picture?
Yeah, because she's the goat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the goat in the picture was symbolizing that she's the goat. And she graduated from high school. So I'm just saying, like, that level of consciousness, that consciousness of that nothing, right, is too great. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that, you know, when hip hop started, I mean, don't get me wrong, dudes is throwing parties or whatever, and they charging people to get in, but, you know, they surviving off of that. You know what I'm saying? The dudes ain't getting, you know, I never known Cool Herc to have like a private swimming pool and nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? You know, that type of thing where, you know, we're gonna just go to the park and have fun. I don't know if that exists amongst the people right now. And I'm saying, like, that's what it gotta come back to in order for that to be the
Well, I mean,
thing.
it's not going to be the same, but like there is a level of like, I mean, figuring out how to, how to communicate on a level that's effective in the way that it was effective. Although it's not going to be the same way. It's not going to be the same exact. Because some of those things, guy, like you just mentioned, that some of that shit is just long gone.
But see, look, that's reality has to bring people back to see, because right now, right, everybody get on the internet, right, and they look at their own shit. Like I'm saying, that you gotta remember that the entire, you know, at one time, right, like say in New York, because this is New York, we had 5 channels, right? You had 2, 4, 7 is the big boys, right? No, we had 6 channels, because then we had 5, 9, and 11. Which 9 is really from Jersey, but comes in clear over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everybody's looking at the same fucking thing.
Right.
Like it ain't no show right now that's putting up the numbers as the Cosby Show. You know what I'm saying? On Thursday, a good percentage of the whole country was watching the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, people, you know, you had a little Walkman and shit like that, but, you know, we listen to music in a boombox. You know what I'm saying? And when the boombox was on, we all was dancing to the same drum. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why now you don't have the same iconic kind of artists. You know, even Hollywood, you know, you don't have, there's no new Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
There's no new Harrison Ford.
Music and content is consumed way more than it has ever been. But you're right, because they control certain.
What you mean is consume more?
It's consumed like content, like this like information is being passed around. Like there's a lot more. There's a lot more producers. There's a lot more.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. Are you saying that, you know, just looking at it mathematically, right? Are you saying that that somehow, because see what I'm saying, it's still only 24 hours in a day, right? So when content is being consumed more, but I'm saying you gotta remember that the population of the planet right, is say from 1990, right? You probably got another 2-3 billion people. You know what I'm saying? And you got things hip hop say in 1990. Let's go back to 1990. Still regional, saying, Tuscaloosa is still not had a hip hop concert. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not a hip hop station that is coming, in clear in Tuscaloosa at that time. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, even with the difference in, say, Brand Nubian and Wu-Tang, right? Hip hop was still regional, was still mostly right around here, in a couple of major cities when Brand Nubian was out. Whereas Wu-Tang and them, they caught the MTV era. You know what I'm saying? Brand Nubian and them, right? Brand Nubian and them was more in the video music box era. You understand what I'm saying? Video music box, that only come in New York and New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? But MTV, now you're just getting exposed to more people. So, people in fucking Bucharest is listening to hip hop now. So yeah, it's more consumed, but it's not really more consumed.
Well, hey, that's an interesting perspective, though. You like the difference between the video music box era and the MTV era, because the MTV era is more corporatized, right? And they've invested more into, so there are a lot more people, but, and that's what you're saying, it's spread thin, really.
Yeah, and it's a more, it's a, like it's a more flimsy fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, right? I still fuck with LL. I still fuck with Rakim. I still fuck with Big Daddy Kane. Still fuck with Cool G. You understand what I'm saying? Niggas right now, they don't fuck with niggas that came out a couple years ago.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like they don't fuck with them. Period.
They don't for the new wave.
They don't listen to their old songs and that. Like I'm still jump on the motherfucking what's your name and listen to the radio. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm riding around.
Yeah, the overall, I mean, hip hop, quote unquote, culture of hip hop has become real loosey, real. And now you got Nas X.
Yeah, that's
that would have never been tolerated. Shit, you know what I'm saying? 2000, let alone 1990.
I mean, there's the, which that's a whole different topic too, but, a lot of that stuff is just,
on many levels, it's been the quote unquote culture of hip hop has been sold out. So those type of
listen, that's exactly what I was getting ready to touch on. Is that that's what happens when capitalism kind of meets these ideas. At the end of the day, these different movements, whatever it might be, the capitalism, especially because it's tied into food, clothing, and shelter, right? it begins to outweigh the sincerity of the other ideas and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, most of life, like that's one of the reasons why it's outsourcing, and they bringing in, because they've already scraped the bottom of the barrel for, the sincere ideas that the people had. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody is kind of cookie cutter. That something unique is gonna be born someplace right now, like something like hip hop, where like nobody's doing nothing quite like that nowhere else. Is what I'm saying? That particular the hip hop style, the clothes and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there was a time you could look at music videos, right, with the sound off, and just by looking at the people, how they was moving around, how they was dancing, the clothes they had on, you could tell where they was from. You understand what I'm saying? But now, I'm saying everybody shops in the same stores now. You know what I'm saying? All the women got the same makeup on, the same clothes, whatever. Speaking of that, this is a little bit off topic. I was observing people walking past the other day, and it just dawned on me that if my mom's ever wore the spandex with the wedgie sewed in, I would disown her. I wouldn't even, just straight up, I don't even, that's some shit, look, if you're gonna do, even if she did that before I was born, I still would disown her. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna do that, go somewhere to another country on vacation or something. Don't do that in front of the building.
Right.
In front of my friends and shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
So it's like the perverse ideas have been kind of centralized, but on a major corporate level, because you do see those kind of women out there wearing that kind of shit, but the stores are supplying it, and the idea is also in the music.
This is what I'm saying, right? To look at it from a different example, right? From the from the outside, a different example, right? Look at farming. Just growing food, right? Farming, right? Any sincere kind of people that, was there that, they try and grow food, whatever it is, they just, love the ground, they love the dirt, they love to grow things, whatever the case may be, right? All of them people has been squeezed out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And the corporate, people, they don't care nothing about that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying is that, right now, I don't even see that no more. Washington apples and shit. That shit comes from wherever the fuck they want to put it now. You understand what I'm saying?
Because the majority of people have more into that idea of that kind of shit.
All of that, listen, even you getting tomatoes in the wintertime.
Yeah, okay.
Is a part of, yes, and I mean, tomatoes was something that, look, it's a certain region where that grows from this time to that time. You understand what I'm saying? But now with the GMO, we got some trees over there, cut those trees down and put those over there. You see what I'm saying? And so, in the same way, that's what I'm saying, people would have to move away from that whole kind of eating. You understand what I'm saying? Right now, they're gonna grow corn for high fructose corn syrup because people is eating it. You see what I'm saying? People had to move away from that whole kind of eating, that whole kind of thinking. You see what I'm saying? So by the same token, people had to move away, right, from that whole kind of thinking where, you know, we just gonna do the music that makes the most money. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this kind of, you know, also, I think a difference is, like if you're an artist, right, you don't really need to cater to the people like that. You don't gotta tell no story that they identify with, because you getting paid from corporate motherfuckers that's giving you checks to say what you say.
So my question is, do you think that will always be like the dominant idea? Like there's no alternative, there's no creating an alternative to that?
Well, they say that necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? And so that's one of the things that the colored man do, right, is he starts to provide these necessities as a part of the pimping.
Part of the pimping.
You see what I'm saying? So now you in stables, you know what I'm saying? What, you understand what I mean? So until that kind of system, the way that things is right now, fails.
No,
Right.
Well, not necessarily. I just think that, you know, us as the original people have to provide, because that's what happens. It keeps getting corrupted by
But
that color man system.
see, right, but that's what I'm saying. As long as a system exists, right, where black people can style on each other, right, because you're dependent on the system. You see what I mean? If we all right here, we can't style on each other. You understand what I mean? I mean, this is always going to be, you know,
that's what I'm
but
saying.
it's a different degree.
Psychological mind.
You see what I mean? Because the condition that we in. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, like if something happened, like see, if it's a blackout, right? That's the kind of thing. That see now, all of a sudden, people is depending on each other. People start doing shit for each other. You understand what I'm saying? But see, normally, it's like, nah, nigga, why you ain't pay your light bill? Fuck is wrong with you? Nah, get the fuck out of here. You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? But it had to be something that changed that priority, right? For, you know, people to just see that, you know, it's you know, they gotta focus on these things for themselves. What is this? Catch up with the people. JF said that's why hip hop is trash now. Nobody telling you that you can't rhyme to your face. You know, look, I think that's another. You know, I kind of look at the world like that. It's just, you know.
But it's also subjective because everybody got studios in their house.
Yeah, and now look, that got something to do with what I was getting ready to say. See, technology start kicking in. I mean, there was like a few little things, you know, Atari, you know what I'm saying, shit like that start coming out, little video games in the house. It was like a little trickle. But really, technology started taking over like 1985. You know what I'm saying? Like the toys that people was playing with in 1970, they was playing with in 1979. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all the same shit. Ain't nothing changed. Big wheels, Legos. You know what I'm saying? Toy, the 100 soldiers in the bag and shit. You know what I mean? And then some changed. Like even look in hip hop, the music equipment. You know, people went from having Dr. Rhythm to having the SP.
Right.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Right. To the ASR.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, it was a so I'm just saying that it was just a lot of shifts. You know what I'm saying? In the mentality of the people. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, get back to what JF was saying, that, you know, that didn't necessarily have nothing to do with technology, but you did get that shift in kind of, like, you know, you always got participation recognition. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, now that you got, you know, the MVP of participation, you know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you come in last place, but you know, everybody gets a trophy. So, you know, people more have that type of mentality, you know what I'm saying? Where, like, back in the days, right? First of all, there was more to hip hop. In terms of the culture was a little more spread out. So it was like, yo, if you couldn't rhyme and shit, right? Maybe you could DJ. You know what I'm saying? If you couldn't DJ, maybe you could electric boogie. You couldn't boogie, maybe you could break. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't do none of that, maybe you could write graffiti. You understand what I'm saying? So people more fit. But now, if you tell somebody they can't rhyme, you just say, hey. You see what I'm saying? Because the world is different. Like back then, we accepted that, look, some people is good at things, other people is good at other things, some people is good at the same thing, they compete, you know. Some people is good at things that work together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had some kids that was really, really, really good at the beatbox. And he's doing breakdowns, hi-hats, bass is fucking boofing. You understand what I'm saying? And you had some dudes that was really good at rhyming. And they hung out together all the time. That was their thing. They went around, you know what I'm saying? If they ran into somebody else that rhyme or beatbox, they battled. You know what I'm saying? You know, but today, it's like, nah, you know, a person, you know, like, it's difficult to say. You know, some of it I think is too is just a lack of respect where you know, if you don't respect that something takes talent and skill, right? Like there's some things like see DJing, you gotta be at least, you know, your cuts gotta be precise and shit. You know, if you're throwing people all off every time you change the record, you know, that's a little bit objective right there. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to, you know, rhyming is, you know, a person is just gonna say, you know, you a hater, you know, or you an old head, you old school.
Well, there's also more. There's more too. It's not just about rhyme skill.
You want hip hop to sound like it sounded in the '90s.
It's not just about rhyme skill. It's about are you a hustler now? You know what I'm saying? You know, ladies, man. You know, it's not just about like the technical skill of rhyming and how can you actually flip the technology? How can you flip the music industry? How can you flip, you know?
Well, I think we have to probably gotta give Snoop credit for that. You know, Snoop, looking back right now, he probably was the first guy, at least, you know, that got that big like that, that, you know, he was just a gangster. Like that was it. You know what I mean? Every story, every song, he was just a gangster. As opposed to, you know, he said he looked up to Slick Rick, right? You know, so Slick Rick that have different songs. In this song, he get beat up. You know what I mean? In this song, he do the beating up. You know what I'm saying? In this song, he pulls the girls. In this song, somebody takes his girl. You know what I'm saying? So guys was more well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? And you know, probably after Snoop, you start getting that character. You know, that one lane kind of MC.
And you hear at a certain point in the 90s, you hear bro, you know, saying, well, I'm not a rapper, I'm a hustler. Jay-Z said that.
Right. Well, I mean, those are current figures of speech. You know.
Right. Yeah. But they're leaning more towards that, or kind of taking the emphasis off of.
But again, that was Snoop. You know, Snoop, because you know, with that whole, you know, the Chronic and then his album, they sold a lot of copies. You understand what I'm saying? And so in the music industry, right, in the industry aspect of it, the corporate part is that we trying to constantly duplicate success. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that the assembly line is about. You know what I mean? That, you know, we making duplicates of these computers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Of the art, right?
Yeah. See, before that, it was everything was craft. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like if a car was made, right, you had to go out and find, it might be 10 different people. Where this dude right here is an expert at casting metal. Like he's got to build an engine, you know what I'm saying? And if you get somebody else, the parts is going to be all uneven, oil is going to leak all out. But this nigga here is an expert at the shit. You know what I'm saying? Then you might got another nigga that, you know, he's going to do the tires. You know, all this shit got to be made by hand, crafted. Right? And one of the, it was a dude named Taylor. And one of his goals, right? Well, I don't know if it was his goal, but they was attempting to break the power of those craftsmen. You know what I mean? Because as a craftsman, right, if everybody know that I make the best engine blocks, right, in the state of New York, I charge what I want to charge. And I go on lunch break when I want to go on lunch break. You see what I'm saying? Because this will get done when I get back. Because, you know, because see, if we trying to do industrial shit, we can't afford that. So one of the things in the assembly line was for you to break down each thing that the craftsman was doing into a small part that you could get somebody to do, and they was interchangeable now. You could replace them. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, all of these little things that's a part of the world that we're living in, just in terms of we in this poor part of the planet Earth. So these topics, they don't seem related to the 5% or to the aspect of what we're doing, but that's a part of the greater, the bigger nation, right, that we within.
I ask a question, like, do you think that's the nature of man? Like, you know what I mean? Like shit, you inconveniencing me by going on break, or, you know, I own this, whatever, you know, like, so you inconveniencing me, so I gotta figure out a way to get around that.
That's the nature of capitalism. You know what I'm saying? That's the
you know what shit coming down, like food, clothing, shelter, right?
Yeah, but you know, in America, you know, they've created some other categories and shit. You know what I mean? Like in America, they say you don't got class, right? But you know you got status, right? And now that's something else that is it's viable. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to in Europe, right? The class system, you gotta be born like this or like that. You know what I mean? Or you might luck up and invent something and the king give you a title or something, or you know, whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? It might be a peasant woman, right? But she might be exceptionally beautiful, and you know, the king married her or something like that. But you know, outside of that, you had to be born like this or born like that. You know what I mean? So now that's another thing that, you know, like you said, you use the money for food, clothing, and shelter, right? But then, what food, clothing, and shelter? You see what I'm saying? So like if you go on Instagram, you see the posts with people they going to get all this different fancy foods. You know what I'm saying? You know, me personally, see what fucked my mind up, right, in terms of all that fancy food, right, back in the days, was that I came to the conclusion that there was a limit. Like, you get what you pay for, right, up to a limit. And then I couldn't put my finger on it at that time, but I realized that, yo, when you go to these fancy restaurants, you're not paying for the food. You know what I'm saying? You paying for the status of going to that restaurant and be sitting there. You know what I'm saying? You know, because they're not giving you more food here and shit. You know what I mean? I'm not getting more food. You know, so you know, that's why, you know, and in New York, you know, we got access to every, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, listen, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I already had all that.
Yeah, the signs of status. That's an ongoing thing. Status, capitalism.
Oh
Status.
snap! Look, it's the wordsmith. Why you ain't telling me the wordsmith was in the building? The wordsmith wrote me a letter. I didn't get a chance to write it back yet.
Yeah.
I don't even
He wrote you a letter?
Yeah, I'm scared to open it.
But he handwritten letter?
Handwritten. Yeah. See, that's what
big time now.
Look,
You
see,
big time now, boy.
now look, that's what I'm talking about. Look, that's crazy now, right?
I hate yo, that's.
Yeah, that's the
now,
type
what
of
kind of
thing
status
I'm talking
can we give you for that?
He's a wordsmith.
No, but right, the wordsmith actually wrote you handwritten a letter. That's something.
Man, y'all got Abdul Rahman in here. Abdul Rahman in here. What you doing? 793 says 7879 Mattel Electronics handheld games came through. Oh, you talking about? Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong. Those was dope. You know,
They were dope.
You know, it was dope. But nah, listen, see, this is what I'm saying though. I remember I showed my son those jump offs. You know, and he looked at it, you know, I think I got him one. He played with it for a little while, you know, when he was real little. You know, but when we used to play football, if I'm not mistaken what he's talking about, in these games, right, it was just dots on the screen. And
the 78, 79.
The player that had the ball was just a little brighter. The dot was a little brighter than the other dot. You know what I'm saying? And when you was playing somebody head to head, right? It wasn't like now when you got your controller and he got his controller, right? You had to play with the dots, right? You scored a touchdown, Then you gave the other person the game, right? And then they had to see if they scored a touchdown. And then they passed it back and forth.
Oh, so it wasn't like a two-player thing.
Yeah, that was our 2-player back then. That was what we talking about.
Multiple.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. It's a when you got something like that, right? And look, and you need batteries.
Oh.
You need regular batteries, right? It ain't like
ain't gonna last.
yeah, it ain't like now where you just plug the shit in. See, back in the day, you need batteries. Your parents ain't buying batteries. See, we used to have techniques and shit. Like 793, remember your batteries used to die and you put them in the freezer? you put them in the freezer like overnight. Believe it or not, that used to work. For some of your younger brothers that y'all have only dealt with chargeable batteries your whole life. We used to have techniques. Sometimes you just have like a little box full of batteries, right? When your batteries die, you just put them in a box for a while. You put them in a box, and when the other batteries die, you just keep switching them out. You just look whenever your batteries die. You got a whole box full of batteries. You just keep trying until eventually.
I remember that.
You get a little 30 minutes of playtime. You see what I'm saying? But now look, people from a world like that, yeah, you can come to the park and hook some speakers up and shit, and we coming out there.
Right.
But see, now you got people that they playing the game, the shit look like real life and shit. Like sometimes people be playing games and shit, I be looking at this shit, I be thinking this shit is real, G.
Is there a way around that kind of, because you said like coming from that world, man, like you could do these type of things, but in this kind of world, it's almost like, yeah, you stuck, man, like, you don't know how, X, Y, Z, you definitely got to go to the store, you got to go with these certain sex of people.
Nah, I made it. Apex said his grandmother likes my album.
Which one? Anteluvian?
Yeah. Tell her I said peace. I'm sending a copy of the new unit when it comes out.
That's dope.
I had to send her one with the curses out.
She might like the curses.
The clean version. Oh snap! You just reminded me too. 793rd. He just mentioned the big batteries for the mini Pac-Man. We got a video game here now. We got video games. I meant to show y'all maybe tomorrow. Before we go on, I'll show y'all. I haven't played. Listen, it has to be at least. Woo! Let me see. Yeah, my born days is next week. I'll be forgetting my age. But I would have to say, we talking over 30 years. Over 30 years. Got the high score though. Listen, we talking about over 30 years since I touched the keys. Had to put that high score up though. It's nothing like I used to do. It's a little light work. Just a little light work. I still got some texts. Abdul Rahman, nah, I ain't getting no super chat. Just Just send it to my Cash App. That's my Cash App at the top right there. $ Fame Labs. Yeah, no doubt I had to put my initials up there. So that's how I do. She just reminded me I might go in and tickle the keys. I might go in and tickle the keys real quick before I be out tonight. You know what I'm saying? Play a little video games, remind me of when I was getting the knowledge. But yeah, we got I was Gallagher, that was one of my jump offs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got some other games that I ain't get to yet. I think we got Frogger.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we got I saw Pac-Man.
Yeah, I was playing Pac-Man on
Yeah, you playing Pac-Man, right? Yeah, I like Pac-Man, but I wasn't a huge Pac-Man guy. You know what I gotta check in there? Do you got asteroids?
Yeah, that's on there?
I gotta see if they got asteroids. The only problem they don't have the Inviso button though. I need the Inviso. See, y'all young cats, y'all don't know about Inviso. That used to be the funniest shit, son. Nigga do something dumb like cross the street and don't be looking and shit, almost get hit by a car. You be like, nigga, fuck, you thought you had Inviso?